Hi, my name is Kira, and I wanted to start this video with a message to Infold. We do not know what is going on. I understand that you might be in a situation where you cannot say exactly what is going on. What I do know is that the decision to remove Valko from the game is a damaging one. It damages your reputation as a company, the game's reputation and shelf life, and the trust of the player base that truly love and support this game. I sincerely hope that whatever hardships you are experiencing right now roll over smoothly, efficiently, and by the end of it all, Valko is returned to the game and the story of Love and Deepspace can continue as intended. This next little bit is for any naysayers because they're the whole reason why we got here. We do not want to show game companies that they can just take advertised content away from us with no consequences. We also cannot let cyberbullies win. It really doesn't matter if you don't like Valko. It's not even just about Valko. It's about the principle of an entire major game feature that was quietly advertised for a whole year being taken away in one of the most financially successful gacha games on the App Store. If Infold gets away with this, it sends a message to other companies that they can just abuse their player bases and their artists the same way because of the hate campaigns of bad faith actors, which happens literally all the time. Here is Angel's Corner explaining how we got here. If you haven't seen her videos already, here is Love and Deepspace giving a detailed look into the most effective ways to get the message across to Infold that Valko needs to be returned to the game. And I'm also adding a link to the petition that I signed, which I think is the main one people have been sharing. Remember to confirm your email afterwards so that your signature counts. So, why am I here? I'm here to enjoy the existence of this man. The controversy of him being taken out of the game has reached bigger creators and people who simply aren't part of the fandom. I personally have been seeing more videos lately covering the situation to come off in a way that evokes a type of stress. Like, I feel like this is for the views and not for the fight, or a general, this is not helping me work through all the negativity. We all know that naturally negativity sticks out more to us than positivity, but it doesn't mean that positivity makes no impact. I would like to add to the positivity pool for however long we're going to be going through this for. I want to frame the videos after this one as if we're simply waiting in anticipation for him to come to the game. I want to just be happy that we finally know who he is and be excited to get to know him as a person and his backstory and his lore. Now, with that being said, this is going to have an ending point, and if Infold is not going to give us one soon, I have to give one to myself. Personally, right now, I am giving them until December to say something. And I know, especially for this game, that is a long time. However, I am 90% sure whatever is going on at the company right now has some form of legal issues behind it, and we just don't know what was done when they initially canceled him. We don't know if they're reanimating cards, re-recording lines, calling people back, and that's assuming that they are working to bring him back and just haven't said anything. We don't know. I feel like I can wait that long at least. And when we get there and I've finished up all my planned projects, a decision will be made if I'll continue on or not. If we do hear something before, then I will still finish my project list because duh, it's art that I want to do. That's why I made a list. And I'll just reframe the videos accordingly and make decisions based on what they say. I desperately do not want to let go of this game. Love and Deepspace has brought me so much joy, reconnecting with a part of my teenage years that I left behind, inspiring and pushing me to actually do different things. The interactions I've had with people across the board, friends, old co-workers, conventions, even the small bit of online interaction that I do take part in, all of it has been so rewarding for me. I'm enjoying myself in a way that I just haven't in a long time. Nothing else I'm engaging with right now gives me that same feeling that this game does. So seeing it in this state, this unstable state of feeling as if the game won't even make it to year 4 because of this whole situation, it's devastating to me. At least if and when we get Valko back, I'll have a little more faith the game will be fine, but they're going to have to do so much heavy lifting to gain player trust back after this. I'm just never going to forgive whoever all's fault this is. I was chilling. Like, I knew people would say the fan base was toxic and crazy, but I'm not in those spaces to see that. Obviously, the game wasn't perfect. I'm very much aware, and the company is going to do what a company is going to do. But all the bad apples I've avoided, and now this entire situation is just an amalgamation of everything coming together and boiling over, everything that was just background noise to me. And I'm just pissed. I'm just pissed. I want my damn wolf boy, and I want to be happy with my digital Chinese men in peace. Like, I was chilling. It's not chill anymore. It's just sad now. But I'm rambling onto the drawing, explaining the drawing. So a big part of Valko's relationship with MC is just being all touchy. Being all touchy and just like hugging and teasing and messing around and roughhousing a little bit. So I wanted to draw Valko with my MC and make sure that they were physically interacting, and I like to be carried. So he's carrying my MC on his shoulder. I have never really given much thought as to what my character in game would look like if we had more black hairstyles in the game. I don't really think about my MC that deeply at all. She's just she's just my character in the game. Her name is Euphoria, and she is an amalgamation of 2 of my OCs and me, and I'm not explaining which aspects are my OCs and which are me because I'm not ready to share some of my OCs on here yet, and you guys aren't allowed to know what I look like. So, that's the thought process behind my MC's look. That's the monochromia, that's just the thought process. Not really much to it. I know there's a lot of people out there who made they have different MCs for each guy, and I'm just here for the harem route minus Caleb because I don't like Caleb. I did start the actual drawing off camera because I was really trying to get the hands right because of how he's holding her. I was really fumbling around with myself to make sure that I was like, okay, if she's holding his wrist, it should look like this. And if he's holding her like by the thigh, it should look like that. Something that got lost in me, like actually drawing the final work, was him holding her ankle, because I like ankle holding, and in one of his cards he's holding her ankle, so I wanted that to be part of it. But when I started actually drawing the real thing, I didn't think that it was going to be a smooth drawing process for me to try and do that, just because of how his arm was positioned. So he's just holding her around her calf, which is, which is still fine, but it's not her ankle. So maybe I'll try that again later. And I took some creative liberties with the outfit. It's obviously she's wearing the outfit that was supposed to come with his release, and in game those are like long kind of flowy pants, and I just wanted to show more skin, so I decided to make them into some slightly flowy shorts. I don't know if it comes across yeah, it does come across on camera. She has just like lightly flowy shorts. And I also gave her hair jewelry, just a little bit in the front. I was really struggling with their faces. I almost did them off camera because I was struggling so bad. I ended up settling for how they came out, because if I kept erasing at the paper, it was just going to start messing up the paper, and then I was definitely not going to be happy, especially if it came up. You could see how messed up the paper is on camera. So I just eventually, I had to kind of just settle for how it was coming out. And I don't think Valko's face specifically looks terrible. If this is your first video seeing from me, I am not restarting my art journey, but also like restarting my art journey. Just to keep it brief, I do have a video that I posted earlier kind of talking about the reasons why I'm having art struggles, but you can tell in his face. But also, drawing men is hard. I have always just found it more difficult to draw guys. So in my mind, it was gonna be fine, and then in practice, it was less fine. So I tried. This will not be the last time you see me trying. All I can do is just keep trying. And at first, I was very frustrated with how my character's face was coming out too, just because of the angle I was going for. But once I get to the coloring process, it feels a lot better. So I gave my MC braids, and I cheated so very much with the braids. I put the detail of the braids just in the coloring process. I didn't line all that because I desperately did not want to. I was having another situation like my last art video where I was pushing off doing the line art because I was afraid of messing up the drawing, and I have to get over that eventually. And even then, I still technically messed it up, but I let it slide just because I thought it would look better. Her braids on her left side of her shoulder, they go into the shirt kind of through the sleeve instead of going over the sleeve, and I just didn't feel like dealing with the logistics of that, so I just left it alone. So if you notice that before I say anything and it was bothering you, Yes, I know I did that. I do care. I just made the executive decision to leave it alone. And if you didn't notice it until I pointed it out, I'm sorry. And to go back to me reconnecting with my art journey point, so far I've been kind of frustrated with how these colored pencils have been coloring, especially when I tried to do the skin. I don't think I'm layering properly. I know I should have tried to do like an undertone, because I'm pretty sure that's what I did for my mermaid video. I think that's what I did for both of them, actually. I did an undertone. No, I didn't do it for the second one. Either way, I can't just really go straight in with one color for the skin tone with these ones, and I'm used to being able to do that relatively okay, but I guess it's just part of the process of me needing to get good, because it does look just as streaky off camera as it does on camera. So, but I genuinely could not think of what color to use for the undertone of the skin. And for Valko specifically, originally I was going to try to match more of what his character model looks like outside of his CG scenes, because the CG scenes he looks a lot paler than he does like in his in-game character model. His in-game character model is a lot tanner, and I wanted to lean more towards that way so I could technically have my more darker skinned option, technically, on a technicality. But I decided while I was choosing the color palette to not stress myself out with potentially getting his skin tone wrong, because I couldn't figure out what to use as the undertone that didn't feel like it was going to be too harsh. So I will try that again later too. But this is just all, this whole process has just been, I want to do it, let's see what I can do. Here is the finished drawing. I've definitely happy that I actually finished it, because at least my MC looks really good in the color. I definitely, you can tell that drawing guys is not my strong suit. His face could look better, but I didn't want to keep like erasing out the paper and then I messed the paper up. But it was definitely rough trying to get that down. But I think I got his hair color right, at least. It's a little bit more vibrant, and everything looks kind of more like a muted burgundy type deal. But I did what I could. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed your stay at the Hollow, let me know by hitting the like button and subscribing to receive more invitations to the Hollow. And I will see you next time. Bye bye. You put a spell on me.